Today I'm going to help you deal with car problems in the most efficient, cost-effective way so you don't get ripped off, but do it right. And as per usual, I do not do paid advertising. Nobody's paying me to talk about products. I actually test them out. I've been a mechanic for over 57 years. I honestly test things out. Now, another thing that can make your car last longer, in this case the wiper blades and the windshield, is this new finish. It is not a wax, even though it looks like a wax. It's actually a car polish. And at least twice a year, I polish my front windshield. You might think it sounds crazy, but it makes total sense. These modern windshields cost a fortune to replace because they got sensors on them, right? Well, what the polish does is it's actually polishing the glass, and it makes it more slippery. So, you have a better chance of any debris falling, sliding off, and not smashing a hole in the windshield. And perhaps even better, it makes your windshield all polished and slippery, so you don't get that cheat chattering of the windshield wiper blades going on the glass, because the glass is now clean and polished, and it will let your windshield wiper blades last a lot longer. Good wiper blades are getting more and more expensive, and with this, they'll make less noise and they'll last longer. You just polish it just like you were waxing a car, only you're doing a windshield. I use these blue shop towels. They're nice and soft and they work good. So while this is drying, we'll do the other side. It's kind of hard to get off unless it's semi-dried, so you get one side all polished, and then when this side's polished, the other side will be dry and we can wipe it off. And another advantage of this is you won't have to use the wipers much, because if it's lightly raining, it'll bead and go off the windshield without even turning your wipers on. So now we got a new blue paper towel, and we'll wipe all the residue off of the side we did first, because you can see it's dry now. If you try to do it too early, it'll just make a blotchy mess. You gotta have it a little bit dry. Not only are you cleaning the windshield, but you're polishing of any imperfections. And you can feel it's a lot more slippery now, which is a good thing for a windshield. Now we're doing the other side. And it's good for paint too. So if you get it in the paint, you just buff it off. It's just like wax, even though it isn't wax. You just keep rotating the towel so you get fresh parts on the polished part. Now I've been using this new finish for ages. The only problem is I bought a case of it years ago, and this is my last can. Now it comes in a plastic bottle. It's the same stuff. And it's really handy for polishing. You can polish your car with it too now. With that ceramic coating, hopefully I won't have to polish that part of the car anymore. But this stuff is great for polishing the whole car, but especially for windshields. Now, I like my new 2026 Camry, but one big thing I don't like is they don't paint them like they used to. The paint, especially on the plastic parts like the bumper, plastic bumper. What a stupid idea, right? The paint isn't that good, and it has a tendency of chipping off, which kind of pees me off, because this is a black plastic bumper, people, and it's painted white, right? When the chips come, the little black parts stick out, and it's ugly. I'm going to use this Zeus Clear ceramic coating to coat it. Now, this isn't just some little scam, little thing in a can that's 50 bucks. You get a half an ounce and put it on. No, this is an actual process. You're going to see how it works. And when it's done, it makes it much harder so that it don't chip. Now, back in the day, the paint itself was hard, right? It was oil-based paint. Today, they paint everything with water-based paint, and really, it is not as strong. So, we're going to show you how you can make it strong. Everything you need comes in the kit, and it also has very good directions that show you exactly what you're supposed to do. First, you get the dirt off. I've already washed the car. So then, you use a special cleaner. You want to make sure everything is perfectly clean with the cleaner, shampoo, and the kit comes with a bunch of blue microfiber towels, so don't worry about that. Get all of the white paint perfectly clean. And to do it right, I'm putting on my reading glasses so I can see any imperfection, because you're going to seal this all up. You don't want to seal imperfections in. This is to make it perfectly clean. Don't forget the bottom rail. That gets lots of rocks. And you can see rocks have already chipped the paint here. We'll put a little touch-up on that. I find these little touch-up brushes with some touch-up paint works really well. You shake it up. I don't like the brushes that they come with. They're kind of weak. So put that to the side. Stick a little one in, because it does nice little spots a lot better. And that's that. Now, don't expect perfection. You can see it looks okay. It's not sprayed on. Spraying is the only thing that makes it even. That's a pain. It looks decent. You get paint chipping off, you can cover it up some, but don't think you can sand it and polish it and sand it. It's never going to look perfect. You want to just cover it up, in this case, so you don't see the black plastic underneath. If it was metal part of the car, well, and it was bare metal, you would have to sand it down a little, put a little primer on, then put a little paint on. But there's always going to be bumps. It's never going to match perfectly fine. And the next important thing is to use this degreaser. You got to make sure you get any kind of grease or stuff off of the paint. In this case, we had to wait a few hours for the paint to dry. Like I said, this is a pretty labor-intensive process. We get the degreaser. We're going to take all the grease off, any wax. The whole thing about this is you have to prepare it correctly. Notice we're not doing the black, because the black is just molded plastic. It's not paint. All the white part we're going to do in the front of the car, where the rocks and stuff chip the paint easier. And of course, eventually you should do the whole car, but I'm not doing that today. I'm doing the part that gets chipped from rocks flying. Just make sure you get all the grease off. Wax, everything's got to be stripped off. Then you mix the coating agent. You mix A, B, and C, using them all. Like you say, you have to use it within 6 hours, because they react once you start doing it. So you put A, B, C, and then shake it up. As it says here, mix A, B, and C. So I'm wearing gloves because they say it's pretty caustic stuff. It's so caustic, I need a razor to open this up. This is A. They say pour the whole thing in the bottle. Now we do B. B. That's the top coat. C is this little tiny bottle. That's probably what hardens it. It is an actual ceramic hard coating. This isn't just some joke in one little can. The Japanese make the stuff in Japan. Now we stick this in and shake it up. Like it said, you got to use the stuff within 6 hours because it starts to harden over time. To shake off, you put a few sprays on the blue micro towel. This is blue. And we wipe it on. Just do a little area at a time. You don't spray it on the car. You spray it on the top. And everything that you're doing, you just keep spraying and wiping, polishing it around. Again, don't spray it on the car. Spray it on the blue microfiber towel. It'll get nice layers. Just make sure you're doing it evenly and keep spraying more on as you apply. You apply to a certain area, not the whole car. This is the front. Use the pink microfiber towel to wipe off any excess. Application and preparation that makes this stuff last and look good. It takes time, but hey, you're protecting your paint. Then we're ready for the top coat. Goes in the other spray bottle they give you. And with the new blue microfiber towel, you always use new ones. You don't want to mix stuff. You do the same process as before. Spray a few sprays in and start wiping it. Best to go from top to bottom so you don't forget what you're doing, right? It's relatively time-consuming, but you want to seal it to make that new paint last instead of chipping because of the cheaper paint they use. This is coating the paint. And as you saw with the two mixtures, it's actually going to really seal itself well when it's done. There's another little paint chip. See, it's already getting paint chips. It kind of pees me off that they do such a poor job with this water-based paint on plastic. Keep spraying that towel and wipe it. Then the last thing, you wipe it all clean with the last pink microfiber towel. We've used all the towels up in the kit. Kind of working the finishing in. Now you might wonder why I'm trying this Zeus cleaner. Well, in the past, yes, I saw a lot of ceramic coatings as being just a gimmick. You get a little bottle and they charge you a bunch of money and it really didn't do that much, right? But a couple years ago, one of my customers, who is a professional detailer, came to me with his car and he said, Scotty, I got to disagree with you. You know, you said you don't like ceramic coatings, he says, but if they're done right, they really work well. So he showed me his car and he had done it 2 years previously with this ceramic sealer and it looked marvelous. He's a professional detailer. Now, he did it over the course of like 5-6 hours because he's a detailer, he's a fanatic. And 2 years later, the car looked phenomenal, didn't have chips on it. So I thought, hey, I'll give it a try, right? This isn't just me randomly going out there. The guy said, hey, this stuff works pretty good. So I got a box of the stuff, and you can see everything you need, all the towels and everything, come in the kit. Now, if you're cheap like me, don't be. Because you don't want to use these towels over they're impregnated with the stuff, and eventually they'll get hard and you'd scratch your paint. So just throw them away. Just throw them away when you're done. It comes with the kit, right? Now, once this is done, within an hour, it's got a decent cure on it. Best to do in a garage, though, so, you know, birds don't poop on it while you're doing it or dust and stuff goes on. But you don't want to wash the car for a whole week as it cures. The company admits it takes a whole month for it to fully cure. So, you know, you don't want to park under trees with sap and stuff going on yet. Eventually, since I'm kind of lazy, I'll probably get another kit and pay a professional detailer to do the whole car, because I don't have the patience to do that. But I got the patience to do the front, where you already saw rock chips are already occurring because that cheap plastic paint that's water-based, especially on plastic parts, doesn't hold up all that well. My old 07 Matrix held up better, and that was made in 07, but now they're using all water-based paints. They don't hold up as well, so something like this can make your paint last a lot longer. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about are electric impact wrenches. They come a long way in the past 4 or 5 years. Now, the CSCRI one, hey, I've liked it. It's a decent impact wrench, right? Takes off lug nuts, does stuff, but recently I've been testing out this Rotaki, and it puts out about 3 times more torque than this, reverse torque. When you run the older one, yeah, it's got a little bit, check this one. You can use it as a hairdryer. This is one strong impact wrench. Sure, it costs more than the other one does, but it's a much stronger, heavily built. It's got a bigger battery in it. Interestingly enough, battery off the old one fits in the new one. Now, back in the day, we mechanics used a lot of air impact tools because they had a lot of power. 20-volt battery in this giant electric impact wrench has a lot of torque. Realize electric motors have instant 100% torque as soon as you turn them on, right? So this thing is now as powerful as that thing, sometimes even a little more powerful. And of course, it's portable. You don't need an air tank to run it. You can take it wherever you want. My advice is always have 2 batteries, so if one goes bad, you can snap the other one in there. Simple to do, they just snap in and out. But you might be surprised by the power of these things. They're so powerful that they have 3 settings here. I have it on full power, but you can also put it on low or medium, but I leave it on full because, right, I want full power when I'm doing this stuff. Now, when you do use one of these, don't do the mistake that a lot of rookie mechanics do and put it on full power and put your lug nuts back on your car with it. They'll be too tight. In that case, you want to put it on snug, then get a torque wrench and torque them on. But for taking things apart, and years ago, electric impact wrenches, even the ones you plugged into the wall, didn't work all that good, and that was 120 volts. But as time marches on, these electric jobs are getting stronger and stronger, and the price is going down. My fancy pneumatic one there, the air-driven one, that was a $450 one. This thing is like $200. And it's the whole shooting match. You don't need a compressor, hoses, so you don't have to deal with hoses getting away. You just use this. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is fire extinguishers. And yes, bigger is better. Now that my garage is all fixed up from the big fire that started outside in a plastic garbage can of all things, I had to get new fire extinguishers. I saved the house. The fireman admitted that I saved the house because we were lucky. The wind was blowing from the house out the garage forward. So I sprayed the house, and the house didn't catch on fire, just the garage and the kitchen. So I saved the house. But I realized one thing, bigger's better. This is a first alert, but this lives in the kitchen. And this new first alert lives in the garage, right? I mean, we can go from the kitchen to the garage really fast, just a little door there. But bigger is better. Don't be cheap like I often was in the past thinking, I don't want to pay for the big expensive fire extinguisher, I'll get a smaller one. No, bigger is better. You're going to have more coverage, You'll be able to put stuff out better. Hey, it's definitely worth your while. And if you want to save yourself or others, either get a little bracket, mount one under the seat of the car in case you get trapped in a fire, or if you're worried about other people, you want to help others, put it in your trunk. I've got this great little carrier here. Put it inside, Velcro. Holds all the stuff and it doesn't rattle around. If something happens, you can save people. And speaking of saving stuff, I always have this in my trunk now. It's Meguiar's Waterless cleaner. There's a bunch of companies that make them. Rain-X makes one. It works fine. I'm sure they're probably all the same formula. And what it does is it washes and waxes at the same time. So maybe your car's got a little dirty spot, like here. I got a microfiber towel, clean it off, it'll look better. But even more importantly, they recently did some of those crummy machines that fill potholes. So then for the next 2-3 weeks, there's tar and gravel flying everywhere as you drive over them and they fall apart. This white paint got covered with it. If you get to it fast, you just spray it on. There's one there, and it's gone. But since it is wash and wax, it's not like a pure cleaner that'll clean it, but it'll also clean the wax off. Then you got to re-wax it. This does both, fits in the trunk, and any emergency happens, realize bird poop is extremely acidic, right? And what do birds do? As soon as they take off, they usually poop so they don't weigh as much. Make them more aerodynamic, right? They'll often poop on your car. It'll leak through the paint, but you see it, no more out of stupid birds. You just go up, squirt it, wipe it off, keep a big old microfiber towel like this in your trunk, and every once in a while, if you get a lot of bird poop, right, throw it in the washer and dryer and start all over again. If you have it there, it's not going to ruin your paint. You'll get rid of it fast enough. It's not that acidic. It isn't going to eat a hole in like in some horror movie, right? It takes a while. So you want to clean tar, bugs, bird poop off as fast as you can. And when you see it, these things were invented mainly in the beginning for the Asian market. A lot of people had no place they could wash their car, so they got this in the towel and they'd wash their car in the parking lot of their high-rise. You know, it's interesting chemistry. I've talked to the guys, at least the guys at Rain-X. I never talked to the guys at Meguiar's, but it works just as well, about how they did it. And this Chinese scientist told me, he said, man, we spent years researching this to see which would be the best wash and wax we could spray on and not using the water. And hey, the Rain-X one works fine. So does this Meguiar's. Like I said, nobody's paying me to talk about this stuff. I just try it out. And it is a great idea. Because when I was a kid, I used to have a spray bottle of Windex, right? You clean the stuff up, but the Windex will strip the wax off. And if you forget to wax it, then the car will start to fade. This washes and waxes at the same time. Hey, pretty good idea. And if you're wondering how my beautiful house is coming along, well, the house is all done. And as you can see, the last thing is the grass. And the grass seed finally is starting to seed its way in. I've been watering it, feeding it with Miracle-Gro, you name it. But things are looking pretty good, with the exception of this poor evergreen tree that the fire singed a bunch of it. Now, a bunch of it's still alive, so we're going to save it. We love the tree, but the heat got that bad. It got the tree, got this side of my face, but interestingly enough, this side of my face is now better than the other side. It was like one of those chemical treatments that rich people do to get all the blemishes out of their skin, and it really did. This side used to be all blotchy, now it isn't. Maybe I should heat this side up too, I don't know. And as you can tell, I'm back at my beautiful house in Portsmouth, Rhode Island. So if anybody wants to come meet me, just email scottykilmer@gmail.com, especially if you have a brand new car. I want to show people the new cars that are out there, or if you have a problem that no one can figure out, I'll figure it out for you. Just email Scotty Kilmer, SCOTTYKILMER, @gmail.com. You'll get the real Scotty, no AI Scotty. This is the real Scotty. Remember, the real Scotty is only on the Scotty Kilmer channel on YouTube. That's the only place I post. That's the only place I am. I do the live car talks Thursdays at 1 o'clock, now Eastern time, Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern time on YouTube Live. That's the real Scotty, no AI Scotty. And if you want to meet the real Scotty, just drop me a line. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.